September 9th, year 349, a time known as the Iron Age. Somewhere in the shadows of this era, a fierce battle unfolds. A man faces off against a monstrous creature, strange, powerful, terrifying. And just like that, the man is gone. His body vanishes into nothingness. The scene cuts. Now we find ourselves in a dimly lit room. A young man jolts awake. His eyes scan the unfamiliar surroundings, flickering candlelight, dusty walls, and on the table before him, a notebook, a revolver, and blood. Lots of blood. His head throbs. He stares into a nearby mirror and freezes. This isn't his face. The panic sets in. He whispers to himself, "Where am I?" Because deep down he already knows this isn't his world. His real name is Zhou Mingri, a student from modern-day China. Somehow, without warning, his soul has been torn from his own time and forced into the body of a stranger, a man named Klein Moretti, who lived over 1,000 years ago in a completely different world. This is transmigration, a soul ripped from one reality and placed into another. Zhou, now Klein, is terrified. He touches the dried blood. He checks the wound on his head. Something violent happened. Did Klein try to take his own life? Was it murder? Something darker? Zhou's thoughts spiral. He begins to remember back in his original world he had tried something, a ritual. He thought it was a joke, something silly, just for fun. But after that ritual, everything went black. And now, he's here, in a body that's not his, in a world filled with silence, death, and secrets. This is where the mystery begins. As Zhou, now living in Klein's body, tries to make sense of his new reality, the world outside begins to stir. 2 deaths have shaken the city. Welch and Naya, university students, just like Klein, have been found dead. At first glance, it looks like a tragic double suicide, a failed ritual, known only as black divination. A ceremony tied to the occult, dangerous, forbidden, but something doesn't add up. In a photo recovered near the scene, there's a third person, standing beside Welch and Naya. That person is Klein Moretti. The police grow suspicious. They begin digging into Klein's past. Both of his parents, dead. He lives with younger siblings, a quiet student, an ordinary life, on the surface. But now, they want answers. Back inside his room, Klein finds something that pulls him deeper into the shadows. An old diary, one he wrote before he became himself. In it, an entry from May 29th. Welch had come to visit. He brought with him an ancient notebook, covered in strange, unreadable writing. He said it was tied to something powerful, something forgotten. Then came June 20th, the day they first read it. The diary whispers a name. The Antigonus family, an ancient bloodline tied to the 4th epoch. Rituals, power, madness. Their name is soaked in mystery. As Klein reads on, he finds more entries. June 21st, June 22nd, June 25th. Each filled with eerie mentions. The Black Emperor, the Hornassus mountain range, the Tudor kingdom. But then, silence. June 27th. An entire day, missing. No entry, no memory, nothing. He flips the pages and suddenly they move on their own. They stop on a single sentence. Everyone will die, including me. The words stab through the silence. Klein stares at the page. What happened on June 27th? What did he see? And why did the original Klein write something so chilling? The answers are buried in blood and shadows. The line echoes in Klein's mind. Everyone will die, including me. It feels less like a diary entry and more like a warning. Something happened on June 27th. Something so dark, it left no memory behind. Did someone erase it? Or did the truth drive Klein to madness? Before he can search further, the door creaks open. Standing there is a young girl, serious, composed, eyes sharp beyond her age. Her name is Melissa, Klein's little sister. She doesn't notice the panic behind his smile. She doesn't see the chaos in his eyes. All she sees is her older brother, looking a little tired. She picks up Klein's broken watch. Without a word, she begins fixing it. Klein quickly hides the blood, the gun, the truth. But inside, everything is unraveling. The wound on his head, the one that should have killed him, is gone. No scar, no pain, just gone. How is he still alive? Did Klein truly try to take his own life? Or was it something else? Something unnatural? Klein stares at the place where the blood once pooled and whispers to himself. It all goes back to that notebook Welch found. That cursed book. Ancient, forbidden, it feels like the key to everything. The deaths, the ritual, his transmigration. He searches his memories. Back when he was still Zhou Mingri, everything had been so normal. Dinner with family, late-night studying. Then came the ritual, a random thing he found online. Just a joke. He drew the symbols, spoke the words, and then darkness. Now here he is, in someone else's body, trapped in a world full of mystery, secrets, and forces far beyond his understanding. And for the first time, Klein realizes something chilling. I'm not just lost, I'm being watched. After the diary, the blood, the missing memories, Klein needs to breathe. So when Melissa asks him to buy some bread, he agrees. But before stepping outside, he whispers quietly to himself, "I'm sorry, Melissa. When you return, I might not be here." The streets of Tianjin City stretch before him. Old stone roads, gas lamps flickering, a sky forever clouded in smoke. The city feels ancient, like a shadow of Victorian London, beautiful and haunting. As Klein walks, he passes street vendors, narrow alleys, and quiet figures with unreadable eyes. But then, a feeling. He's being followed. Someone's there, not close, but always present. A step behind the shadows. Klein doesn't panic, he keeps walking, pretending not to notice. Nearby, a group of people are playing a card game. Shh! Landlord. Klein pauses. He remembers this game was created by someone from history. Emperor Rosel Gustav, the ruler of the 39th Empire. Strange man, a genius, inventor of steamships, trading systems, and games far too modern for this world. And suddenly, a thought hits him. Was Rosel also a transmigrator? The idea is wild, but so was waking up in a dead man's body. Maybe, just maybe. Klein isn't alone. Just then a coin falls from his hand. He bends down to grab it. And as he rises, a man in clown makeup appears beside him. No sound, no warning. He smiles and hands Klein a flyer for a circus. No words are exchanged. Klein takes it and walks on. But the man following him, he's still there. Not closer, not farther. Just watching. Klein turns a corner. A small tent comes into view. Dim lights, painted stars, a faded sign. Fortune-telling, know your fate! Without a second thought, he slips inside. Inside the tent, the air is heavy with candle smoke and incense. A woman sits behind a table, dressed in flowing robes, rings on every finger, eyes lined with shadow. She looks up and smiles. "You're my first customer today," she says. "Come, sit." Klein hesitates. "Is it free?" he asks. The woman nods. "Of course, even the card reading." Still cautious, Klein takes a seat, shuffles a worn deck of tarot cards. "What would you like to know? The past, the present, the future?" Klein thinks for a moment, then replies, "Tell me about the present." The woman draws a single card from the center of the deck. "It's the Fool." She leans forward, her voice low and smooth. "The Fool marks a new beginning. A journey started from nothing. It's unpredictable, but full of potential." Klein stares at the card, the image, the word. It sticks in his mind, not just as a reading, but as a sign. Just then, the tent's flap bursts open. A second woman storms in, shouting, "What are you doing in my tent?" The woman giving the reading freezes. I was just... "You're not even a real fortune teller." Chaos erupts. Turns out the first woman was an imposter. A fake reader who snuck into the tent. "I give real readings," she argues. "Mine come true." In the commotion, Klein glances outside, and there, just beyond the crowd, stands the man who had been following him. Still watching, no expression. Klein doesn't wait. He slips through the back of the tent and vanishes into the streets. The card, the Fool, remains in his pocket. He doesn't know it yet. But it will become more than a symbol. It will become his name, and the key to a destiny far greater than he can imagine. Klein returns home. He opens his diary again, and his eyes land on a small entry. A simple ritual. Nothing dangerous, just a way to improve one's luck, or so it claimed. "Maybe if I try it," he whispers, "maybe I can go back." So he prepares. Candles, chalk, a quiet place. A mind focused on the ritual. He follows every step, every line, just as it was written. Then, a sharp pain pierces his skull. A shockwave blasts through the room. Red light floods the air. Symbols glow across the walls. The room warps, bends, unravels. And in a single instant, Klein is no longer in the world he knows. He awakens in a place that doesn't feel real. A space bathed in fog, floating candles, endless pillars, no ground, sky, no time. He's somewhere between dream and dimension. A space that feels ancient, divine, empty. Until two lights glow in the mist. Figures begin to form. A woman, noble and elegant, stands before a mirror, chanting, "Mirror, I summon you. Awaken." and a man pulled from the middle of the ocean, clutching an object in his hand. They both land in the fog, looking around in shock. They can see Klein clearly, but when they look at each other, only shadows. They turn to him. "Where are we? Did you summon us?" Klein doesn't know what to say, but something inside him whispers, "Stay calm, take control." The noblewoman asks, "Is this the divine realm?" Klein looks around, then thinks to himself, "If this is a divine realm, where's the throne?" And just like that, a throne appears. The fog parts, pillars rise, a vast seat of power forms beneath him, shaped by his thoughts. He stares at it in disbelief. I can control this place? This isn't just a ritual. This is something more. A hidden world, a domain of thought, mystery, and perhaps divinity. Paul's thrown new friends in the first gathering. There he sits on a throne of mist and memory. Not by power, not by choice, but by something deeper, stranger. Klein, or perhaps now, something more. Below him stand two figures. One, a noblewoman, eyes bright with curiosity. The other, a sailor, cautious and guarded. They look up at him. "Who are you? Did you bring us here?" Klein hesitates. He's not Joe Mingri anymore. He's not truly Klein Moretti either. So he speaks, his voice steady, mysterious. "You may call me the Fool." The name taken from the tarot card he drew. A beginning from nothing. A path walked alone. The noblewoman lights up with excitement. "This is incredible! I've always dreamed of experiencing something supernatural." The sailor, less impressed, studies Klein closely. "Where are we? What is this place?" Klein doesn't answer directly. He lets the fog and silence do the talking. The woman's eyes sparkle. "How can I become a Beyonder?" Klein freezes. He doesn't know, so he turns to the sailor. "Why don't you explain?" And the man does. The truth of the Beyonders. To become one, you must obtain a Sequence 9 potion. Each church offers different potions tied to different pathways, but it's dangerous. Drink without preparation, you risk madness or death. Still, the noblewoman listens with interest. "It sounds powerful, but I don't want to lose my freedom." Then, something unexpected. "I have 2 potions," he says. Klein raises an eyebrow. "2?" He names them, sailor and audience, though in this world, audience means more than just watching. It means understanding, seeing beneath the surface. Klein listens carefully, wondering, are these different types of powers? And is this fogged world part of my own? The woman suggests, "Let's meet here again. Share what we learn, trade knowledge." The sailor agrees. Klein considers it. "If I keep seeing them, my secrets could be exposed, but maybe I'll find answers too." He nods. They make a pact. Every Monday at 3 p.m. they'll gather here in this fog-covered domain. No real names, only tarot titles. The woman chooses Justice, the sailor, the hanged man, and Klein remains the Fool. With that, the mist begins to fade. The first gathering ends. Klein opens his eyes, back in his own room, back in the real world, but nothing feels normal anymore. He's touched something powerful. Klein barely has time to process the fog, the throne, the pact, when, knock, 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 a heavy fist strikes the door. He opens it and sees 2 men standing on the threshold. Not ordinary police. These are night watchers, silent guardians of the supernatural. The first, calm and composed, introduces himself. Dunsmith. His eyes are quiet but piercing, like he's seen too much, like he already knows. Beside him stands a younger man, more relaxed, slightly talkative, trying to soften the air. Lowen. But there's no small talk here. They're here for one thing, the deaths of Welch and Naya. Did they really commit suicide? Dunn asks. Klein keeps his face still. It seemed that way, but deep inside, he knows better. So much more hides beneath the surface. Dunn's eyes wander. They land on the open diary. He flips to the pages, reading silently. Then he stops. A sentence stares back at him. "Everyone will die, including me." Then he says something strange. "MacGregor lost his revolver. If it's here, we'll find it." Klein doesn't argue. He reveals the weapon's hiding place. Then, lowering his guard, he admits quietly, "I tried to take my life, but something stopped it. Since then, I've lost pieces of my memory." Dunn studies him, and then he offers something unusual. "Come with me. There's someone who can help you recover those memories." Klein hesitates. Part of him wants to run, but the other part, the part that's already stepped into fog and fate, knows there's no turning back. And as that thought settles, the world around him begins to warp.